Welcome to Rise Up in Business, the law podcast for small business owners. This podcast is designed to share important legal information without the stuffy legal jargon. I'm Tracy Milacrane. Let's get into today's episode. Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Rise Up in Business podcast. Let's dive into today's episode where I'm going to share with you the one biggest mistake that I see business owners make over and over again. The reason I'm sharing this episode today is because I've been delivering a lot of masterclasses and workshops for groups and communities lately, and a question that I'm asked in almost everyone is, Tracy, what is the biggest mistake you see business owners make? Because I'm being asked this so much, it is front and centre of my mind, and it occurred to me that you, lovely listeners, are probably wondering this as well. So today I'm going to share it with you. The one biggest mistake that I see business owners make is putting off getting legal documents tailored for your business. They're not a nice to have, they're a must have. Honestly, I'll say that again. Tailored legal documents for your business are not a nice to have, they are a must have. And the mistake I see is when business owners put it off and they think to themselves, it won't happen to me. I've never had an issue. It'll be right. I've copied my mate down the road and they have a business that's similar. I've purchased a template. I'm sure it's right. Or, wait for it, I've Googled and I've just cobbled something together. First of all, this is not a podcast episode where I'm criticising any of that. I absolutely am not. I'm simply sharing information and I'm saying to you, that happens a lot. I see it, I hear it. Business owners tell me that that's their thinking, and that's okay. No judgment. We all do the best we can at the time with the information we have. And similarly, when we know better, we do better. And that's the kicker here. That's the most important part. When we know better, we do better. Putting off having your legal documents tailored for your business can leave you exposed on so many levels, and it is often at that point that a client will reach out to me. Tracy, I have this particular client who wants a refund on the mastermind. Tracy, this person's not paying. Or Tracy, scope creep has become debilitating for me. I need your help, please, to deal with this client. I don't know what to do. I need to terminate someone, Tracy. Can you help me? Or I've received this claim from Fair Work or from QCAT or VCAT or NCAT or wherever because something's gone wrong. The reason that it got to that point is because there were no tailored documents in place to manage and navigate those tricky situations. There were no documents in place to set that business up for success and to set that business up to avoid having to call a lawyer like me later to help them navigate out of that tricky situation. So it's overwhelmingly, number one, hands down, the biggest mistake. That's not to say that there aren't others, there are, but that's the one that comes up the most. And I also think that's the one that carries the most risk. Because if we don't have our legal documents tailored for our business, what we're saying to clients and what we're saying to the world is either I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing or I'm not a true professional. I'm not quite sure that anybody listening to this podcast is keen on that message going out, but that's what we're saying. And that, again, that's not a criticism because maybe you don't take your business that seriously. Maybe it is a side hustle. Maybe it is an afterthought. That's okay. That's fine. And maybe you don't know. Maybe you don't know the importance of the legals. Maybe you don't know the importance of having them tailored for your business. And maybe you don't understand yet the level of risk you're exposing your business to unnecessarily because you haven't got the tailored legals in place. Maybe you don't know. And again, that's not a criticism. It's an observation. But either way, you're not setting yourself up for success, and chances are you're likely to find yourself in a situation which could have been avoided, and those types of situations tend to cause you to take your eye off the ball in business, having to deal with the tricky situation, the avoidable situation, takes you away from growth focus, takes you away from revenue generating activities whilst you dive in and deal with it, and that could be avoided. So what I would like business owners to take away from this episode is tailored legal documents for your business are a must-have, not a nice-to-have. And in my view, based on my experience and all that I've seen that can go wrong for small business owners, Your tailored legals are more important than your branding, than your business coach, than your social media, than your marketing strategy. It is foundational, much like building a house. This is a really great example because everyone can relate to it. You build a house, you start with the solid foundations. If you say to your builder, mate, can you go easy on those foundations? Cut a few corners here, cut a few corners there, she'll be right. Chances are, if they're a good builder, they're not going to want you as a client because they all know, everyone knows, you don't take shortcuts with your foundations because you're going to have big problems later that are going to be massive, potentially massive to resolve. And sometimes you can't resolve them with that knockdown. We don't want to have to do that in business. Your legal documents are your foundational documents. They need to be stellar. They need to be solid. They could be, they should be, they will be, if you know that you need to take the time to get them done properly. So that is the number one biggest mistake I see business owners make in their business, but it doesn't need to be. It can be avoided. If this sounds like something you want to jump on, something you want to be proactive about, or something you would like to talk more about, please reach out and you can book in a time to chat directly into my calendar. The link is in the show notes. That is what I'm here for. I'm always happy to chat. I'm always happy to answer questions, and I will always give honest, straight down the line, direct advice. Thanks so much for listening. I'll catch you next time.